I just remember being in my apartment, just kind of, I guess I was having a moment. I don't know your deepest thoughts. I don't know your deepest beliefs. We don't talk about God. Like, I don't even, do you even believe in God? Like, I was cutting things off.
I told you this before too. Like, before I went to Atlanta, there was these 3 spirits, and they were like, "We don't want you here."
College, I was pretty far distant. I know you.
I want to hear it. You're not black, because in this moment, you don't fit into the box we created for you.
If we are the same color, like, what is your character like? What is your values? I'm for the human race. They are racist. That's why they're treating me the way they are.
And along those lines, I think my mom always told me, like, what you don't forgive, you become. You having a party over there. Couple things that I've been seeing. Okay, that's weird. Lady's sitting in front of our car, and she looked just very well put together. It was like 100 degrees, and she's sitting on the bed. And I was like, "Hey, are you okay?" And she said, I said, "Okay." Man, let's pray for her. She started smiling. She does it and snatches her hair out of her head, throws it. I said, "What was that?" Does that twice.
She was saying Maryland, like parts of Maryland, there's like mystical things, something about that area. Certain areas very like
PDF of the Spellman family, right? And it's like the crest of it has a little man on it. And so on my phone, I can use my Google image to take a picture of the little man. Tell me, what is it? And it says it's a mythical creature. It's a wild man. It's in the Bible, but it's in the King James version.
It's a woodland deity. Hey, it just cut off.
Yeah, like it's in my phone. So we should introduce ourselves, maybe.
Yeah.
Okay. You want to go first? Do you want me to go first?
Yeah, the crazy thing is when you told me about the introduction, I'm like in the car trying to what? Who am I?
It's such a good question. You have to think about it yourself. Usually who we describe ourselves to be is what we do. And I've had to redefine that. But okay, so who am I? I just have to start with being a daughter of God, really, because I probably would have said years ago, like, I'm a counselor, I'm a Spelman grad, all these things that like define something that would be, I'm a master's degree professional therapist. Like, those would be the things that would describe me. And so, like, okay, who am I? That was 10 years ago. And my life has like shifted so much since then. It's like, okay, well, who am I? I'm a child of God, and that's who I am no matter where I go. I think I am a counselor, even though I'm not.
For sure. Like, that's just what you are.
Yeah,
without the degree, without
this.
Yeah.
I think I'm a defender. Okay, and I'll say, okay. I find myself, like, whatever the situation is, I'm always trying to defend who may be seen as the person that is in a underdog position. And so sometimes I guess I have to be careful with that, because you can seem like you're dismissing a current situation. But I'm like, let's not forget about this person or this thing or whatever. And so I think I am a defender as well. Spiritual, like, but in the Christian sense,
like defending Right.
Well, I'm naming something. Well, yeah. Oh, okay. I mean, now that you say that, yeah, for sure, because I get upset. I get kind of upset, like, when I feel like people can't see what's really going on.
Like they choose to be blind, or
They just can't see. But the thing about it is, like, I would have to remember there are times I couldn't see, or there are things I couldn't see. So
yeah.
you got your counselor on. Yeah.
I hate that. It's like once you're there, it's like you can't see it.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Yeah, what stuck out to me is who you are. What doesn't change? Like what? No matter the season, no matter the age. What's amazing. So, yeah.
Your turn.
You gave me a guide. I just learned something really new. Yeah, I would say, like, for me, I guess this is action based, but I'm led to say, like, I'm a person constantly seeking truth and healing, and with that led me to have a more intimate relationship with God. Even prior to that, so I would say yes, I'm definitely a Christ follower first. With my recent intimate walk with Him, I would say like that's an identity like He is helping me with, as far as informing me what that is and what that looks like, and it's almost like I'm learning about myself. Even though I'm 33, it's like I didn't know this all this year, or maybe I knew it, but I didn't really know it. But now in the Bible, but not in the Bible, but spending intimate time with Him.
The reality of of the relationship and Him speaking to you, and the difference that it is when you take the pages from and live it out, you know.
Exactly. Like that verse, you're wonderfully made. Like now it's, it's not just like reading it. Now it's like I'm starting to embody that, and it's giving me like confidence even in my sin nature, or when I'm making mistakes. Like it's like the sin is starting not to be my identity, or what I'm doing wrong is not carrying me. Now it's like, first, I am fearfully, wonderfully made, or I'm created in His image, and like that whole that wasn't even in my mindset or something I even thought of. It's like if I did something wrong, I'm bad. That was the identity unconsciously. But so when I think about non-changing, I'm about to be silly. I'm a female. I am a girl.
Yeah.
My age changes, but I'm 33. I'm a follower of Christ. That never changes. I'm a daughter. Oh, but I'm a mother. That changed. My wife, that changed. So now, anywho, now I'm thinking, like, okay, anywho, I guess because you mentioned degrees, I guess that doesn't matter.
It can, if that's how, I mean, it's a part of your path and your journey. Mine, it just looks very different. So it no longer like qualifies me for where God is leading me. You know, it was a part of the journey, you know.
Oh, what do you mean it no longer qualifies you?
Because it is not it's not necessary. The degree is not necessary. It was qualifying me to be a therapist. But because I'm no longer standing in that position, it was just a part of the journey that I gathered from to use in my next assignment. If that makes sense. So not that it wasn't useful, but it was a qualification for the school system, not necessarily for God's agenda for me. Mm-hmm. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
If it doesn't.
If you're talking about the degree specifically.
Yeah.
I guess I was thinking about the experiences.
Yeah, so the experience was necessary to gather what I needed for next. Whereas, like, when I was thinking about it, I'm preparing for just what the degree is prepared for. Yeah.
It's right. Okay. Okay, but yeah, so that's me.
Yeah. I will say, though, that I'm starting to notice that you have some giftings in seeing that maybe you weren't noticing before. Like, your ability to see things spiritually because of your relationship with God through dreams. Like, were you paying attention to your dreams before?
Heck no.
Mm-hmm. Okay. And then, yeah. Yeah.
Or, the toilet. Peeing in, peeing. When you got to pee really bad, I drink on the toilet.
Mm-hmm.
But no.
Mm-hmm.
If I would have a dream about a snake, it would be like, oh, what a coincidence, or anything in general that wasn't particularly scary. It would just be like, oh, they're just dreams.
And then when you also said something about, like, when you all were looking at certain property, that God was, like, kind of guiding you on that, right? Weren't you?
Like, looking for a place to buy?
You were looking at property, so, like, maybe that was last year, and God was, like, kind of giving you clues on what to look for, what not to look for. You remember that? No. It was last year.
I was looking for property last year.
Well, we have been talking about land, I think, and then you were talking about land, and I feel like you said you had a dream or something that gave you an idea of, like, what to move forward and what not to. Not that, I mean, just those are just God talking to you. Sometimes it's warning, but sometimes it's just like insight. Like, yeah. I noticed that you're getting that more.
Well, I mean, yeah, I can see that. I would definitely say talking to you and hearing your experiences has definitely like awakened. Like, I've heard it before. I would hear them before. Like, I know we talked about this, and it was always very interesting and just like, oh wow. And I don't know what happened, but it was like, hold on. I guess I started experiencing things, or I know what it was. I surrendered. Mm-hmm. So I guess that with that surrenderance, it's now I'm being attentive to what's happening.
It opened up. Yeah. Yeah, your eye. Yeah.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Hold on. Didn't I hear Ashley talk about something like this? Yeah. And so it was very helpful, like, having someone there to kind of like inform what it is. Otherwise, I would just think I'm crazy.
I felt like that happened to me with numbers. Like, I never noticed numbers before. And I started listening to this couple that was on a similar journey than, like, of God, like, taking them from wherever they were, their norm, whatever. Mm-hmm. And they just started mentioning numbers. And does it look like I'm looking at you or the camera? Because I can't tell what it looks like. Mm-hmm. Okay. Yeah. So, yeah, they start talking about numbers. I'm like, what are y'all talking about? Mm-hmm. And then there's like, we said when?
Yeah, what year was this?
I don't know. Maybe it was like a little before the pandemic. I'm thinking. Okay. I'm thinking a little bit before the pandemic. I think after 2020, something just like.
Oh,
I'm gonna share that with you because I've been seeing some stuff that's crazy. Okay,
yeah.
but we're gonna get to me last because I want to hear what you have to say. But yeah, it just feel like everything started to like all the fasting. I'm like, look, maybe I need to eat. Okay, because fasting, like sometimes you're fasting to see God, you know, and you start seeing stuff that you don't want to see, hearing stuff you don't want to hear.
Oh, wow. Okay. So this happened around the pandemic.
I feel like before. Okay, so I would pay attention to the years. Like I would start looking up Hebrew years.
I remember that.
Okay, but I was not like, oh, I'm looking at the clock and it's standing out to me and God is speaking to me.
Mm-hmm.
No, I wasn't doing that. And then like you see the same number over and over.
Yeah.
Even though you started seeing 11s, I wasn't seeing 11s yet.
No, but I will say this, like I was talking to you before that, like you started giving me awareness of numbers, and then all of a sudden, yeah, I just started paying attention. So, yeah, and that, yeah, and then it brings me back to like I had a friend like college days.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, he was on numbers, and he's like, I keep seeing 29 and 29, and I'm like, I don't understand that. He's like, I just feel like that number means something. I just keep seeing this number 29. I'm just not realizing this, and now I should look it up. But he was aware back then, but he just didn't understand what it meant. All he knew is he kept seeing it.
Yeah.
Which was interesting. And that was like 10 plus years ago.
And I feel like, and I don't know how to explain it, I feel like there's this line, and spiritually, there's a line, and like you can get the source of these like spiritual insights either from the godly one or the non-godly one, but you're in the spirit, and so like somebody's guiding you, somebody's giving you these clues, and it doesn't mean it's not always right either. Sometimes it's not that they're the both sides isn't right, but it's sometimes it's the right source and the wrong source,
Right.
you know, because the outcome is going to be different
Yeah.
based off of where you're getting it from. But because I feel like you can be gifted without knowing God. God plants gifts. What you got?
Well, I just on YouTube. I was watching this video on YouTube of this woman practicing. She wouldn't call it witchcraft at the time, but like she tarot cards, and I don't know. You know the name they call it, where they are
the readers. They're
her whole
mediums.
I'm trying to think of like the trendy term. Maybe that is, but her whole thing.
How did that happen?
My Mac, I can't figure out what do I do that makes that come up. But
Okay. That was interesting.
Okay. But the lady, she was going through a lot, and that's how she found healing, through the tarot cards, and she was a Christian.
Mm-hmm.
And like the meeting, she realized she was gifted with being able to be in touch spiritually. And so that's why I say like you can be gifted. When you're gifted, like you can be sensitive or be aware of the spiritual end. And I guess at that time she didn't know, well, like you said, I don't think she deciphered where I'm getting it from. She
right.
automatically assumed from God.
And that's the draw, because people get results.
Exactly.
That's the whole thing.
Yeah.
And you're in the spirit realm, and so there's going to be some realities there.
You're getting healing, right?
Okay. You get something.
All right. So, what led you? Previously, we got on the phone and we were talking about, we're sure we want to do this because I've been going
Mhm.
You're like, I feel pulled, like, I don't understand it, but I'm pulled to do this.
Mhm.
I feel very adequate and prepared, like, like, just like, it doesn't make sense. I don't feel equipped, but I guess not I guess, where I'm at now, I know that's a sign even more to do it. Like, it's not me.
Mhm. Mhm. Mhm.
There's something in me that is making it adequate enough. Um, and I don't understand it, but I'm just following.
Yeah.
Now, me prior to this walk with God, I would have been like, Ashley, we need a script. No, we're not ready. I'm not ready. I'm not in the space. And now it's like, I can't explain where this, like, how this strength is happening or why I feel pulled, but God has given me enough, made me aware that it has nothing to do with your adequacy.
Mm-mm. Your relationship qualifies you. And when he says go. And those are the two things. Your
And
relationship.
yeah,
Uh-huh.
and it made me think of, like, I don't know about you, but like the job opportunities that I've gotten, or whatever, or even the house, like getting a house or apartment, or just things that that was successful. I can't say I prepared for them. I can't say, like, I had my ducks in a row. Like, I felt adequate, or I planned for it. It just was like, this is the right opportunity. Something was just pulled me to do it,
Mm-hmm.
and I got it. And it wasn't through the typical do the application, or, even like the when you said the standard process. It was, what I'm trying to say. Like, it was me just felt like going, regardless if I feel adequate or not.
Yeah.
Um, but anyways, I don't understand why, but I want to know what's pulling you.
Well, I want to comment on what you're saying first. And can you see this gnat? I mean, I think it's gone now. Okay. Anywho. Um, because I was reading the scripture the other day, and it was talking about how, and I've read it before, but it hit different. All of your days are numbered. I mean, not numbered. All of your days were written in the book before they ever came to pass. I was like, okay. Because, I mean, not that we don't have choice, not that, we might not go a different way sometimes, but I feel like there are certain seasons and there are certain points where you must be here. Does that make sense? And so, like, even if, like, we haven't talked about, like, how we became friends, but I've been thinking about this as we're having this moment, because a few years ago, we would be on the phone, I'm like, something happening. Like, God, I don't know what God is doing. He's doing so. I don't know. I can feel his presence heavy. Okay. I don't know what's going on. But I was like thinking about, and then remind me of the question after I say this. But I was thinking about how we both ended up at Macy's. We were both in school. You were in undergrad and I was in grad school. Um, and I actually had been applying to be at Macy's while I was in school for about a year. And so, um, Felicia, got me on in when she did. But when we became friends, we were watching the same thing. we were both on Netflix looking at Tupac documentaries, but we didn't know each
I was so heavy into Tupac. Oh man, that's true.
Like, did you see that? We didn't even know each other. Did you see that Tupac documentary? Okay. And then when we did like become friends outside of Macy's, I'm like, why do you live in Westmar? I just moved out of Westmar. I just moved out of here. Okay.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah, you kept bringing it up, and I just was like, okay, yeah, no, that's weird.
And I always tell you, I was never supposed to be off campus that year. I was a senior and I was supposed to get lottery so that I was supposed to have first dibs, and I didn't. And so I didn't have a place to stay, which is why I ended up at Westmar. Because I was planning on staying in the senior dorms at campus. And so I was trying to kind of leave, those years where they were. And I'm like, oh man, hold on. Why you live at Westmar? And then we go to the fashion show. You don't even know like what school I went to. I'm like, Sierra, why are we in the AUC?
Yeah, yeah,
You did?
yeah. I knew you went to Spelman.
Okay. But did you like, you didn't even, well, you didn't know where, look, we didn't know where the fashion show was. Something, because there was no way I knew.
Right.
You were just like, oh, come with me to, maybe you knew. I didn't know.
I didn't know the fashion show was an AUC thing.
Okay.
Yeah.
I had never been. I'm like, oh my gosh, she got me back in this area.
I did.
Okay. And then I was for sure when you went to New York, I was like, okay, God's gonna give me a relocation plan. Like I'm not like, okay, she relocating with a plan and with a your whole package. And I ended up back home, and I was supposed to just like while I was back home go back to Macy's. And for a year, like for whatever reason, as easy as that should have been, I was supposed to transfer. The transfer wouldn't go through. And so I'm like, okay, I speak to you one day and I'm like, oh God, pray for me. Like I'm back at Macy's a year later than I wanted to be. And then you were like, me too. You left New York, you went back. I'm like, okay, something about these like dots are very much aligned. Um,
I remember that. You were like, yeah, I finally got in. It's been a year. Yeah.
so I don't know. I just think it's something about the journey though that it's like, I mean, not that I'm your whole journey. You have your own journey, but just like
Yeah, we are crossing.
yeah, connect. Yeah, like there's the connection is like okay. Um,
Because
how are
honestly,
you?
even before then, like our friendship, it was, what do you call it? I would say this, like looking back, I think our heart posture is what, I think we had the same heart posture, and like genuinely cared about people. Like we were really genuine. It's like this purity, I guess. Um, Even though we were living like totally like separate lives, like you were definitely knowledgeable and in tune with God. And I think at that time I was not. I was exploring. I was starting really to doubt. Like there was doubt being planted in my head about the Bible. I was just free willing it. But like you were the first person I met that we could talk about it. Like, like genuinely, not traditional, not this is what this says, or uh, like genuinely talk about it, like nakedly, like the stuff that you could talk about that you would be like, I don't know if this person's gonna judge me. Like you were the first person to really I could talk about it. And then the experiences that you were having was like, I hear about that on TV, but where I grew up and the church I went to, like that's not true.
Hmm.
Kind of
Mm-hmm.
the things that you can see, and like faith was kind of like, it was like a limit. It was set
Yeah.
to. It was like this God is in this building, and then when you're outside in the world, you play by a different set of rules. So, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Okay, but I'm gonna say this though.
Yeah.
Because well, and I think we did connect from our hearts because we had heart for people. But I always tell you this, we were at, for whatever reason, we went out to eat at Lennox. I don't know, we was on break or something. And we went to get sushi. Okay. And something was happening that one day, like, because you were like, I prayed for this. I prayed for friends that had a relationship with God. And so there have been spurts of that coming out of you the entire time. And then I'd be like, I'll talk to you again. And I was just gonna be myself because I was just in a point in my life where it's like, hey, people gonna have to take me or leave me. I was like, look, this is what it is. And I think you just had heart enough to be there. This is what it is. This is what I'm doing. This is where I'm going. I'm not gonna judge you, but this is what I'm experiencing. And I needed friends that would be there, and you were one that maybe you didn't have the experience, but God had positioned you to be there. But I can remember we have conversations and we'd be talking or whatever, and then I'll talk to you again, and I'm like, man, somebody's been talking to her. Like somebody's like, okay, because like I can remember we'd be talking about God, and then the next time I talk to you, you'd say, man, it was this one thing that you were curious about. It was like this Egyptian thing that you it's like a color, I don't know, color of light. What is this thing called? Color of something. It just sticks in my mind that somebody had introduced this documentary to you. And I'm like, who is she even talking to? And does that make, is anything coming here? Okay. I'm like, who is she even talking to? But you were like, I don't know, it just felt like authentic friendship nonetheless. Like I was still gonna be myself though. You were still like, okay, I'm still gonna tell you, God is telling me. God is showing me. And whether you get it or not, you, for whatever reason, you stuck around. Like, why did you stick around?
I think even then I was seeking truth, but didn't even know it. Like I didn't close them off, but I was just trying to figure out, not unintentionally, like why racism, like why is this a big thing when I don't really hear it in the Bible. Like I was connecting the dots and didn't even understand. So I think that's why. And then you.
But okay, the reason I asked though is that even Christians would have been like, okay, girl. That's why I asked. Even
that way to me. You came off like really curious or like curious or authentic in your walk, and like if I had an opinion or was releasing something, it wasn't, I didn't get, well, God says this.
To me, like God, when I was like saying, okay, God has told me to do this, God has said I can't do this or whatever, like that's more so what I mean. Like people like that are Christians would have not believed me. They wouldn't have believed what I was saying or that I really was hearing from God. They would have been like, you're seeing numbers, you're having dreams. But I do think that a lot of my dreams, I think I had some dreams that you could verify along the way.
You mean like you had told me something and then something happened?
Yeah. And I think that may help because it's like, okay, but maybe she not.
Well, you were, at least in my heart, you were so authentic, and I've never heard someone like include, like talk about God like that. not even in the church. Like, I don't hear people. I hear from God. I think God's telling me to do this, or I don't hear that. Like, actually implying. So, yeah, I think it was like curious. It's like, oh wow, hear from God. Oh, and then eventually it was like, what does that even sound like? Eventually, those questions came. But then also I was in my own, like I would hear, be curious, and then I'll go back to my world, like, well, you know, actually this is what happened to me, and do this or whatever. So I think I too was like swallowed in my world to not be as curious. And I don't think I'm like naturally judgmental too.
I think that though, like
people say I am.
I think though that the openness, and I'm sure as you've grown in your relationship with God, you have to like see how open you want to be. But I think the openness actually allows people that maybe they don't have I know God, so I know that's not God kind of attitude. It allows you to hear from him personally and not what's been transferred like based off of maybe pulpit or what's been told to you. And it actually makes you more available to God than some people.
Yeah.
Because I'm starting to hear you say God's leading me more than I hear some people that have been in the faith. I'm starting to hear your own relationship with God. Like, okay, God's leading me to do this. He's telling me to do that. And I step back because I'm like, she's hearing what I'm hearing. So it's like, okay, let me listen to you. Let me see what God is saying to you.
To piggyback on that, like I would say, like prior to on a bigger playing field, like I don't know what happened. Like it definitely was after COVID, but okay, I'm having my walk, and my family. I think we're traditional Christian. They're not personal. So I started my walk without like my mom or anybody, and then as I shift, I think she went through some things, and now she's becoming really personal, like seeking God, and I'm hearing it. Like she's with her garden, and she's like, "Oh my gosh! Like I've planted, and it's just amazing how it grows, and I just like God is so like she's seeing God through her garden or her greenhouse, and I'm like, that's gotten into her, but I'm like, this is beautiful. And then my aunt has had her own separate journey, and our paths are like really close now because I work with her and with her business. That's all I hear. That wasn't my idea. God gave me that idea. Like you think this stuff just comes? No, it was God, and I'm like, wow, we've never talked like this before, so it's kind of cool to see. I don't know what God's doing, but it's like seeing it happen around.
Because okay, and this is what's coming to me as you're talking though. But like, sometimes it is effective, like telling people what truth is or being able to explain. But the greatest, like Jesus said, "Go be my witnesses." And the witness is just to testify what God, not testify like testimony service. You know what I mean? Like, although that's beneficial in some places, like you're a testament. Your life is a open book of what God is doing. And so even in the little seeds that you may give, people are gravitating. Like we teach others about God and other people teach us about God based off of their life.
Yeah, I can see that. Like with you, like I remember when I was in New York. I think prior to York, it was like okay, like we're having conversations, but now looking back, like you were planting seeds.
You were saying God was leading you in New York. Do you remember that? Because you started to, I think it was something with your boss, and you started to be convicted about certain things. And that was happening in New York for you.
Okay, so
Okay.
before I get there, right?
Okay.
Like, I'm in Georgia, I'm in school, and you're hanging out, da 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 da. I'm starting to see, like, when I look back, I think those were seeds. Because then I go to New York, and I don't remember. I just remember being in my apartment, just kind of, I guess I was having a moment, and I just remember, like, about to break things off with my current boyfriend, because I was like, I don't know your deepest thoughts. I don't know your deepest beliefs. We don't talk about God. Like, I don't even, do you even believe in God? Like, I was cutting things off. And then I remember we were on the phone, and I don't even know how it got started, but I just remember you telling me, describing what a personal relationship with God looks like. And I don't know exactly what you said, but from that moment, it was like, oh, like, I can tell him when I'm mad at him. I can tell him when I'm just just the things that I thought weren't good to tell God, because not realizing He knows anyways. Like, I can be naked. Like, I can actually talk to Him personally, and you really broke down grace and mercy, which made it more easier to, like, come to Him. But that was the moment where I realized I was doing, like, a script. When I pray, it was a script. It was a script. It wasn't like I thought I had to prepare, like, formally come to him a certain way. And that was the moment where I was like, oh, I don't have to have all my words together, or it doesn't have to be a script, or I don't have to, I don't even know the right words. Now I lay me down to sleep. I pray the Lord my soul to keep. Lord my soul to keep. God bless. And I would say mommy, daddy. And I just knew it by heart, everything, and it wasn't authentic. And then that was the moment when I'm like, okay, I can. And yeah, that was a big moment for me. And that was from that conversation with you saying, like, you can just come as you are. And you were describing, like, you're not doing the fixing, he's doing the fixing. Something like that. Yeah. And that was in New York.
Yeah.
And then so what you're saying about hearing from God, I think that's like maybe being there alone helped kind of push me towards him more. Maybe be more a little sensitive. Yeah.
Yeah. Because even I think when you were like in transition from leaving New York, I think you're like, God, I feel like you said, or that's how you were framing. I don't know if this is the exact words, like God basically made a way for you. There was something happening for you the entire time, even though, there becomes a moment where you feel the difference. There is, I could see, and that's the only way we could probably have a friendship, is that there was something happening,
Mm-hmm. And you know what? And since you said that, this is one of the things I still don't get to this day. As I'm like looking at Ashley's life, and I'm like, wow, she's, uh, what do you call it? It's like control, self control, like submitting, dying to self in a drastic way. And when you bring up the move back to Atlanta, like, I don't even know still to this day if that's what God wanted me to do. But I know I'm impulsive. I will convince myself that this is what God wants me to do, or I just always wondered, like, like through your experience with you like constantly implementing, submitting to him in all your moves and even staying still, like how do you know that's what you're supposed to be doing?
Well, I think, and I always tell you this, like when I got to high school, we got to bring it back then. Like it feels like just yesterday. It was not. When I got to high school, I was like, I had two directions I could have gone, and I was trying to smoke some cigarettes. Weed was probably going to be my next thing because I mean, you just kind of open. I'm already like, I got friends that's drinking. You gonna drink too? But I got filled with the Holy Spirit at church, and I had always gone to church. And then when I was in middle school, like we'd be drinking before we go to do cheerleader or whatever, and I feel bad. Like I've always grown up in church, and I believe I've been around people that had a relationship with God, and I felt like I did, and so I would feel a conviction, but I didn't. I wasn't filled with the Holy Spirit, and it made a difference for me. But okay, so I'm gonna say I probably said this already too, but like when I was younger, like 3 years old, I would follow family members around the house, like, "Are you smoking? I prayed for you." I'm so this is what I had. Somebody had been exposing me to something that, like, are you still smoking? Like, I had such a conviction about what was right and what was wrong. That doesn't mean I always chose it though. But I had such a conviction early on about that. And so what you'll get from my personality type is to try to always do the right thing. But it wasn't necessarily like holy versus unholy all the time, because there was only so far I could get based off of not having a deeper relationship with God, although I believe I had one. But when I got filled with the Holy Spirit, I can remember being around friends, and I was like, man, this is the last cooler I'm gonna have.
Last
Because you know how like, one of my friends, her mom would let her drink her coolers, and so I was like, okay, this is the last time, because the conviction became different. And then God started like calling me. I'd be watching TV, and it's like he was calling me to read the Bible. So I was always reading. And so there was so much word in me by the time I went to Atlanta. But even like being in that place in high school, like you're having to battle because everybody's just free. And I was just feeling so convicted, but also the church I was a part of. I was thinking about this yesterday, like the word was so heavy. It wasn't like, but because the pastor, I believe, was prophetic and being used by God, it wasn't like God was speaking to him and it's like another sermon, because I think that's what people usually speak. They teach sermons. It was like God, like I can't move from this. God is convicting me. God is drawing me, and I'm like, I don't know how y'all still living like this, but I I can't do it. I can't do it. It would make me so uncomfortable because now his nature is in me. And I can't even, it's not even a conscious thing of, okay, Lord, I repent and then I might do it again. I can't even feel at peace about doing something opposite, because not only is he in me, I'm feeding him by spending time with him, by reading his word, and it is making the conviction heavy. And so even like I feel like, when I went to Atlanta, like there's some areas in my life that got off, but it was like hard to sleep.
In Atlanta.
Yeah. It was hard to sleep in the decisions. And so, and then it would seem like normal things that I should just like, okay, I don't need to really ask God about that, or or whatever. And there's some things you don't have to ask God about. Like, okay, am I going to go get gas today? Am I going to go here? Am I going to go there? Like, some things are not. But it became so like what seemed like should be the natural response. If I got a conviction from it and I overrode it, I realized he was saying, I was warning you. But in the moment, it feels like you're holding me back. And so all you got to do is override some of those a few times, and you realize I'm wrong and you're not. I'm the wrong one. It's not you, even though I don't like what you're saying to me. And you start to see people, like we were talking about the other day, like people become agents. And so you feel like people are cool, people are safe. And these same people that God warned you about start acting so out of character. It's like, hey, I can't move without you. Because when I do it, because it says, this is scripture says, who much is given, much is required. When I do it, it costs more. And so even when I told you this before too, like before I went to Atlanta, there was these 3 spirits and they were like, we don't want you here. And in retrospect, I did not know warfare in the way I know it now. I needed to follow God because I don't even know what the protection is when you don't even know who your enemy is. Does that make sense?
Yes.
And so the things that I'm like, oh man, I feel that, but it costs me in a way that it may not cost the next person because I know better. And so after a few of those, I'm like, look, I can't move without you telling me to go. And you even know, like, this conversation would have never happened until God was like, okay, now go. And so that's how I know the difference, because I know that we've entered, somehow the season has changed. Something has changed in the season that is allowing for me to not just do anything, but to move in a way that is different than I could before. I was so restricted, but I knew the difference between what he was saying I could do and couldn't do. I know his voice even when I don't like it. You know.
Okay.
Was that a lot?
It was, but I kind of like, as I'm hearing your story, some stuff I've heard, some stuff a lot I haven't. I'm like, oh, this is like I kind of wrote notes because I'm like, I'm seeing some patterns. Like,
You was writing notes? I didn't even see you write nothing. Okay, go ahead. Go ahead. You your counselor is in there, okay? Girl, I didn't see you move a finger.
said the conviction. Well, first off, so you were drinking in high school. I didn't drink till college. So I was noticing, okay, so she was getting it in high school. But anyway, you said the conviction, like that you were starting to get convicted and pulled in high school. I'm trying to think of when it convict. Honestly, I feel like conviction happened for me. It probably happened. I think it happened in elementary. I think I've been delaying. I think I'm in the conviction period for then with me moving. There were periods I would be convicted and I would draw near the way I knew how to, which was to read the Bible every day. Yeah, that's about it. But yeah, I can see I was in that. Yeah, I don't for years. College, I was pretty much far distant. Part where you said, oh, that didn't happen till 4 years ago. Yeah, that didn't happen till 4 years ago. Oh, snap. Like, I'm thinking when it's promising, good. It's not me, it's them. Yeah, I guess, yeah, when I hit rock bottom. And like you said, oh, I thought they were good. Yeah, that's when it was, oh, I need you. And then when you said something about when I do it, it costs. I think I'm getting to that point. I'm like breaking down what you said into like transitional moments or those steps, even though everybody has their own story, but I'm like, conviction, yeah. Okay, the point where you're like, oh, snap. I don't know who and what is what when I thought it was. I just knew I knew, but I'm hitting rock bottom. Yeah.
What was that feeling? Not necessarily the situation, but what was the feeling that made you know, okay, not that I need to do more of something else, that I need to go towards God. Like, what was that feeling like?
It was like I surrender. Just tell.
What was it like? God was trying to get to you?
He probably was, but I think it was more like, I could be wrong, but I think it was more like him, like, just waiting. Just like, she gonna be calling.
Mm,
That's what I feel like. It's like it was everything I had to go through because, I think he's been trying to get through me. I think he knows me, so I think it was one of those things like, well, when you're ready, but also I'm protecting you as you go against my will. I definitely see his grace. And then it was like once I surrendered, it was like all of a sudden I just knew like what to do.
Yeah.
That honestly, I know it wasn't me because that wouldn't have been the option I would have chose. It would have been stubborn Sierra, righteous Sierra, not the one that's gonna forgive and still be there.
Yeah.
And I was confident, like I know this cannot be me.
Mm-hmm. And honestly, like you were saying, all of our journeys are different. Like, I was very impressed in how God was like being strength for you, even in other situations, like with your nana. Like, that was impressive to me. Like, I'm like, okay, God is upholding her for real. I've had a relationship with. I mean, we all have our own relationship with God, but I've had a relationship with God for a long time, and I be feeling it. I still feel the impact of certain pains. And so when you were saying, and not that you didn't have pain, but when you were saying how your journey was going, I was like, oh, God is really upholding her. Like, God is really strengthening her.
Yeah, that's a whole nother conversation. But yeah, and I look back and I'd be like, there's no way. There's no absolute way. Speaking of 7-Eleven, this is the day she transitioned.
Is it?
This is the day. And around this time, we were all at the hospital together, like just waiting and, cheering each other, encouraging each other, being there. So it was actually a beautiful moment. But yeah, 7-Eleven. I know the Minute Hand was on the Samhan was only 11 when she actually transitioned.
Wow.
I remember. And then I looked at the date and I was like, no, it's 11. And then I told you after that, 4 days later, that Chris Brown concert was here. His tour, 11/11.
Yeah. I definitely feel like
No, there is.
I don't know how I know. Like sometimes there's just things you know. I definitely feel like whatever the mantle was for your grandmother is on you. I don't know how I know that. I just sense like something, and I think you said that too, but like something transferred, like something that was on her is on you. And I know your grandmother to the extent that you explain, but I just feel like there's something there that was an assignment for her, that was her character, her personality, her gifting that you're carrying.
It's scary. I want to say you said that before, but I'm no, not like no. But it's so scary because my cousin, you know the one,
Yeah, you told me. Yeah, that he said that.
he said the baton is on you.
It is.
And with you just saying that right now, it just, I don't know, it's more like, I need to go back and talk about it. Is that, I mean, I know that's what he meant, but I'm thinking generally, like just general generation, not like me.
You.
Yeah, and I felt that. I think, like you said, it's a knowing. I just don't know if I'm quite aware of that knowing, but I like subconsciously catch myself, even having her mannerisms, or just yeah, just her mannerisms, how she would stand, what she would do. I would be like, I don't know why I'm feeling like her right now. She would have her cup. This is small, but she would have her little. She always had a cup, no matter where she went, and drinking her water. Wasn't really big on that, but it's like I just catch myself. I wasn't big on that again. That wasn't me. But even how I stand there, I'm like, dude, I just feel like her is weird. I didn't feel that way before.
She prepared you for something, and I can't say I see everything, that is your gifting or whatever, but I feel like because we're connected, that even you entering into counseling, not to say that you're going to follow all of my steps, okay? But I believe that it is a step to something else. I think that it's also doing what it did for me in a sense of it's been preparing you for not that, I mean, maybe you'll still counsel with it, but it's a stepping. There's something there. I know that's like very vague, but there's something there that you're called to do that expands outside of counseling. And it's the step that you need. Because I told you this before you went into counseling, that you already had that too. You had that empathetic gifting.
Yeah, what you're saying is like, again, that knowing. Like, when you saying it, it's like, in my head, I'm like, oh my goodness, it's just a feeling. But then you saying it is like, oh, snap. Maybe that's not just a feeling.
Oh, okay. So let's throw in another 11. So Ecclesiastes 3:11. I love this one. And it goes with what we're saying. I'm going to pull it up.
Professional.
I'm just gonna read it. You want me to put it on the screen or I'm just gonna read it?
You can, yeah, put it on the screen. Well, or you can edit it and put it on the screen, however you want to do it.
Okay, that's cool. So it says, he This is Ecclesiastes 3:11. He has made everything beautiful in its time. He has also set eternity in the human heart. Yet no one can fathom what God has done from the beginning to the end. Or he has planted eternity. And so that means like we're actually uncovering what's already in there, which is why like when somebody says something, it's like, oh, that's it. Remember, I used to tell you like God's voice is like a hot or cold, like, oh, that's no, that's not it. Oh, that's it. Like it's almost like, I, but it's happening inwardly where it's like, I hear something that you just said that resonates with what's been planted in me. It's an eternal truth. It's a planting, and you don't even know it from beginning to end, like it's happening, but it's happening like the entire.
I think that just confirms. I know that just confirms the whole. I feel pulled to do this. I don't get it because in my logical mind, this does not make sense. But here is stronger than the logic. For yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Wow. That's watching this. What's it called? I was watching something, and it's called Universal Design. Universe. I was watching the guy Taylor Welch podcast,
Mm-hmm.
and he had somebody on there. I forgot his name, but he was an atheist,
Mm-hmm.
and he was talking about his journey, how he became a Christian, and he was like, I have to share this. I have to share what got me here because I'm a very logical person, and there's so much evidence that routes to there's a God, and that Christ is real, and this is real. Like, so he wanted to create a movie where he's not pushy. It's just these are the facts. Do what you want with it, but he just felt like it was his duty. Like because I would agree. I don't like the typical follower. Like even me, I'm not telling you like the universal facts or like actual evidence that scientists discovered. It is a faith thing, but those things do exist, and I think his thing was to bring that to the forefront for those
We need that.
people like him.
Yeah. Yeah. And I think that there are like if God is saying something or if God has said something or if there is a truth, then it's just that it's truth. And so it should have evidence
Mm-hmm.
somewhere.
It's funny you say that because exactly what he said. Similar, like there is so much evidence, and he was bringing it up. It was crazy. I kept falling asleep on it because I was sleepy, but it's really good. It's not. I'm gonna send it to you.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm just now doing what light years mean. I'm thinking of Toy Story, and I'm like, oh, that's the speed of light. Like
Hmm.
how many years is in one? It would, if you were driving in a car at an average speed of 16 miles per hour, it would take you about 12 million years to travel just one light year. 12 million years. So I'm only saying that because it was describing like how far stars are from each other or how far galaxies are, and if we were to travel, like we wouldn't even make it to the place. And basically saying there's gotta be a God. Like the universe is
Mm-hmm.
so huge. But I just thought that gave some perspective. It gave a lot of math. And when you put those them numbers up there, it's like, oh, whoa.
Yeah.
If I was,
It reminds go ahead.
oh no.
Oh, it reminds me of when I read something that said like when you look at the stars, you're actually looking at years ago. Like what you're seeing has already happened. The light is just getting to you.
Yes. 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 That blew my mind. So, so, so I had a friend talking about CERN.
Oh yes, let's go, because I have so much to say. Go ahead,
I know
I
you.
want to hear it. I have so much to say. I was like, it's not gonna fit, but go ahead.
Yes. Yeah. Understands that they're trying to shoot things to be able to create what is it called? To open up
The multiverse. They're trying to bring things from one dimension to this one.
yeah.
Okay, if you have that, God and Jesus is from the white man has oppressed us, and it's what the Bible would call a stronghold. It won't even allow you to see the fullness of the understanding that you have. You know, it reminds me of this is a totally different subject, but D1. We've talked about D1 before. And he goes into like these places of the hip hop community, like, hey, our music is bringing poison to the community. And something within, well, there are a lot of people that are listening because they're old enough to, but there's something in the heart of a person that has already blocked what you're saying that I know is truth. But I can't let myself think like that because I like it. It's a part of the culture. It's a part of who we are. It's how we have fun. It's what I've connected my identity to. And so I can't allow myself to see what you're saying. And you can just hear all of the contradictions. And they're just not aware of it yet, or they're becoming aware of it. I love the way he does it. They're becoming aware of it in his uh, passionate compassion. Because for me, I get kind of heated. Okay, like I don't mean angry, but I'm just like I don't always have the patience that I see that he has to explain it in a way that
Empathetic. Compassion, I guess.
well,
Or yeah.
I think it's a level of maturity, honestly, that allows you to articulate what you're saying and not get offended when somebody is saying the opposite, or not just be like, man, you just look, like you start insulting because you've offended me, and not totally thinking through, okay, I see that they can't see yet, so I'm gonna be patient with them. That's maturity that I'm working on. I don't have it. Okay. But that I look in amazement that he's able to do it. Cause it's like, okay, I just see that he doesn't see it yet. And articulates it in a way that is patient. It's like, I don't like that.
It's good. It shocks me a little bit. So I'm like, Ashley, I know you got it. I know you got it. But then again, I'm like, all right, you talked to me enough, told me stories. Okay, maybe she's right.
When it comes to God, though, I do believe I have a prophetic gift. And there is a fiery side that is a lot less, I have to think through my words so it doesn't come across abrasive. Um, Even though I feel like I'm very compassionate and I'm very loving. But when it comes to God things, sometimes I get angry. Not angry in a like. Does that mean okay? Not in a like a. I'm almost angry at the fact that the devil has so deceived you that I've totally not been able to like articulate what I really mean because oh my God, you can't see what's going on. maybe in those moments I have more compassion and patience. But internally, I'll just say when I'm even looking at people having conversations on YouTube, or when it comes to the Black thing, because like you know, I feel like I went to Atlanta because I wanted to get close to my roots. I went to Atlanta because I didn't really grow up in all Black communities. Although I had all Black church, I had all Black friends, but it just wasn't all Black, and so I wanted to be in touch with my roots and all those things. But when I got there, and they were basically like, it just felt. I think I bought it for a while, but after I bought it, and after I kind of came back to a different reality, it's like they are making us put our whole identity about what they said about us. They said you're Black. They said you're inferior. And now I'm acting out of a way that is inferior. And so anybody on the playground, we know like the most insecure person is the loudest person. But it's the person that knows who they are that carries themselves like, you're not talking to me. That don't apply to me. And I think when I start seeing that, I'm like, okay, we are so acting out. We're acting out as if they're right.
Yeah.
What you said about me is true. And I can only fit in this box. This is what it means to be Black. And if I don't fit in this box, you're not a part of us. I'm like, okay, wait a minute. Because my name is Ashley. And there's so many facets to me. Like while we're talking here, you might get this voice. When I'm talking to my family, and probably when you're talking to your family, you're gonna get a little more slang. It's just gonna come out of you. But that doesn't mean both are not me. It just means that I'm multifaceted. There is a level people in which people code switch, and then there's a level in which people are just they're different parts of them in different places. And I think for me, because I did not grow up, like I grew up in a predominantly white school, I got in touch with different parts of me. So I went home, I had all Black family. Even at the predominantly white school, I had all Black friends. Like, now you're not Black because in this moment you don't fit into the box we created for you.
It's crazy because before I was awakened, I would be like, yes, me too.
Mm-hmm.
You know, now I'm like, I understand. Understand. Because it's, like you said, it's wait for your people. I don't know.
Yeah, it's such a complicated thing because it's not like we're not Black, because we are. I just don't have to fit into what I don't have to fit into your thinking. I think that's what I'm trying to like, and I feel like maybe that's what you're saying too. Like, my thinking does not have to fit here.
Or I don't agree with anymore because now I'm about character.
Yes.
If you're a human.
Yes.
Because if we are the same color, you know, like, what is your character like? What is your values? I'm for the human race, but I'm not going to choose this Black person that just is about self, greed over this white person that is going to, that's asking me about how are you, or what can I do for you, or that is not greedy, I guess is what I'm trying.
Well, we've become, and we may or may not add this fire, we'll see. But we've become what we say we hate.
Racist.
Yes. And so I don't know anything about you. I don't know what you've been through. You may individually have had a harder time than me. I probably told you this before, but I recently mentioned this to somebody else, and I was just like, I remember going to Macy's, and being on the support team in Linux sometimes is not the same as a small little Macy's, and so you're kind of like you're on the support team is a lower level than the sales team. It's a lower level than management. You're actually just serving, and people don't see you. You're not the face of anything. You're support. And so I can remember going in one morning, and it was a sales associate, and I was just like, "Good morning," or something. I said and she didn't respond, and I'm like, "She's one of those." She's white, and she's one of those. She thinks she's better. Just automatic thoughts. She thinks she's better. She's white. And even in this role, she just, you can't say good morning. And I think it was maybe later on that week, I realized that her husband had said he wanted a divorce while he was dropping her off at work, told her, put your game face on. And then she went into work. And so I'm like, oh, she didn't even see me. It don't have anything to do with me. And in that moment, I was around her actually while she was having the conversation. So I wasn't hearing it, secondhand. I was hearing it from her. And I'm like, I assumed you was one of those and couldn't say hi because I'm in this I'm in this support position and I'm Black. It is. And I'm just like, oh, she just got told that her husband wanted a divorce and put your game face on? Are you crazy? And I never thought that maybe she's going through something.
Wow, yeah. Wow, you caught yourself. Yeah.
Well, I'm gonna say, I actually feel like God was exposing me to an alternative reality than what I thought on multiple occasions, which was making me change my mind about how I was assuming things.
That reminds me of me going out to Cleveland, Georgia with all these white people, and I just automatically assume they are gonna be right. They are racist. That's why they're treating me the way they are. Not because I could be new or or any other reason, but because I'm Black. And then they love me. They love me. But I just assume just going out in that country area with all white, mostly white people and then working with mostly white people was like, ooh. And so and then also seeing that, okay, this is, would you call it suburban? I don't know, rural area. I think typically, I could be wrong, but at least I think when I think of a rural white area, I think, safe, they're fine. Not realizing, or they're racist. They're not destructive. Not realizing how high the drug use is there and abandoned houses and they got issues just like any other race have issues. But for some reason we think they don't have problems. Being out there really opened my eyes to see people. It's it's really both ends, and then there's also what you call it, human made things that makes it worse. which is why
Mm-hmm.
I think there's more like criminal shooting violence in the black communities. I think that's like human made through music and
Yeah.
politics,
Yeah.
which is why it doesn't happen as I, this is what I think why it doesn't happen as much there, but they are still suffering. Like,
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah. Like, and it's not that racism does not exist though. It's just that and then when you go in rural, sometimes there are rural areas that are safe, and sometimes it is that just basic ignorance. Like when you get anybody that hasn't been around another group of people, you're gonna get ignorant, and that I mean, use don't like, we can't be blind. Like, okay, I'm all up in this area, and I'm not gonna assume about you, but I'm not gonna be crazy either. Because I think I told you it was a church I was going to in Atlanta, and I was the only black person there, and that wasn't rare to me living in the Midwest. That wasn't like I'm used to that. That didn't bother me. But when prayer time came around, and the person was like, "Lord, help my prejudices," and I was the only black person there, I'm like, okay, I don't I don't really have the energy for this. I probably won't be back. but but I think that there are moments where God does call us to not be in danger, but to be compassionate with somebody that may not know, because there are so many cultures that we, or even the community or the families that we come from, don't know either. And so how do they feel, when you have uh I want to use conjured up, but I don't think that's the right word, but conjured up a certain idea about who they are without knowing one person that comes from that community. But there is a case going on. It's this guy, this young man, um, and I really try to avoid him because there'd be too much going on, and I don't be needing it in my mind. But I was like, okay, let me just see what's being said. And it's a young man. He's 18 from Mississippi. All it was mostly white people with him, but he was black, and there were a few, I guess maybe 3 black people that were on this island. And when I did listen to the case, I won't assume race, but it sounds fishy, and you can't throw it out. You know what I mean? Like there are some things that's like, I'm not gonna like ignore realities. And I've come to learn about like Satanism and how certain people are into certain families with the MK Ultra, and look, they don't care if you black, white, or pink. They want to sacrifice. Um when I was looking at all of the white kids that were being sacrificed, I'm like, wait a minute, do we know about that? And at this point, do you care? But I mean, but you should. Like, it's kids either way. And so, um, you know, I felt a lot of compassion for this case because I was listening to it, but also the mother she seemed like, hey, I just, this, my son is very open. Like he wanted to be around everybody and wanted peace. And when you hear those kind of things, not that you ignore cases in general, but you are at least able to say, okay, this might be racism, but they're wanting truth. They're not just saying you're racist. They want truth, and if the truth ends in that, okay, let's say that. Let's say that. But we can't be. I mean, I guess people can be whatever they want to be, but like, can you be what you hate and not know that that's what you've become?
very great sum up. That was great.
Yeah.
What you become, which
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I guess like I'm thinking even from like a psychology standpoint, like or even biblical.
Mm-hmm.
When I think of Philippians 4:8, it's on my wall right now. Finally, brothers and sisters, whatever is true, whatever is noble, whatever is right, yada yada yada. Think of these things, and if
Yeah.
we're focusing on the bad, then I guess we'll become.
And along those lines, I think my mom always told me, like, what you don't forgive, you become. And so, like, how you forgiving your mama, daddy, uncle, cousin, and saying, hey, let's just all come together. You don't even like your family. And yet it's like and I'm not saying that for everybody, but just like, let's be realistic about individual situations that does not all match what we have tried to make a oneness. Like, I realized that when God started talking to me about forgiveness, if I gotta forgive these people that I do know, that I have personal experience with, how am I going to hold something against individuals that I don't even know? And then, like I was telling you, there's so many experiences. And let me know when you have to go. What time did we say?
We didn't say, but
Okay.
we should have like a 2-hour limit or 2.5.
Okay.
You want 2 hours?
2 is
two or 2.5.
Let's just, I guess, see where it phases out at.
Okay.
So if it phases out at 2, let's do 2. Because go ahead.
No, I was gonna say, like, in the middle of the discussion, it was like, you were talking or saying something, but it was like, I was just starting to see. But I don't even know what I was seeing, but it was like, this is purposeful. This is meaning.
While you're being pulled in the midst of what would normally have you say, not right now.
Yeah. But then it's also like, I don't even know what you were saying, but it was like, but I just was like, oh, I think I'm starting to get it. Okay, I probably lost your thought.
I think I interrupted myself first.
Yeah,
Okay, what was I saying? Okay.
Oh, that makes me think. I was working.
Was it MK Ultra? No.
What you were saying? Do we want to even care about that?
Oh, okay. It's coming back. Go ahead. Keep talking. I think it's coming.
This is referring to like us. We probably won't even know one person in that community have like an assumption or stereotype of them. I was working and I'm hearing yelling, like an altercation, right? Now, if I make an assumption, if I don't look, I'm automatically gonna think these are black people. These were, I don't want to say Indian, but in that arena, Middle Eastern, I think is the best term. I don't know, but they weren't black, and I'm looking, and I'm like, oh, I didn't know they did do this. I know this is really bad, but it's kind of like, wow, you just don't know. Going through something like, it's made me be more mindful.
Yeah.
Judge or not, I guess be kind. Just be kind.
I think your relationship with God, and I think people in the church are being pulled to focus in, but your relationship with God will not allow you. It says love your neighbor, and then it goes on to say, who is my neighbor? And then it explains somebody that is of a whole different people group. Not that that's your only neighbor, but just so you know that this is your neighbor and these people over here are your neighbor as well. Because the Jews and the Samaritans had a little thing that they didn't like each other. And so it's like, okay, the Samaritan, that's where they get the Good Samaritan story from. The Samaritan is not fully Jew. They are Jews that mix their faiths. And that's the other thing about being a Jew. they were circumcised into it. And so there's a family Jewish line, but there's also people that were, I guess, converted into it. And so now you're talking about people that have just aligned with you and aligned with God and make covenant with God, that they are a part of this group. And so having a relationship with God does not allow you to make it just about you, because he won't.
Sorry. Did you figure out where you left off at?
Dang. I was saying something about Satanism, MK Ultra, and it was coming to the tip of my mind.
This is the case that you were like you end up reading about.
Yeah, it stemmed from that conversation. Um, it was coming and it's just not fully there. But
All right.
yeah.
All right. So I'm getting my floor. We finally got our floors done because we had a flood, and the contractor we hired, like he's a Hispanic, and I have a history with him. Trust him, such a good guy.
Mhm.
And anyways, fast forward to now. Okay, so in the past when I worked with him, he was working for people. Now he's working for he was also going through a divorce, and it was all over his face, and he was so vulnerable to expose that. Like, you know how typically, like you said, with the lady that didn't see you and you figure out
Mhm.
or something, this guy wears his heart on his sleeve. So it's just hard for you to miss it because he's going to be sad. He's going to wear on his face, and then he's
Mhm.
going to, like, if he's messed up or something, he's like, I'm sorry, I'm going through. And he'll share. And I don't know if it's me, but no, I think this is generally his heart. He would expose. It's hard for him. Anyways, later he's feeling good. He's like, I'm feeling good. I got my business, and he's putting on his his boss hat, coming over, trying to tell me more stuff to do to my house. I'm like, I don't need that, but okay. And so he did the floors for us, a good deal, and so I'm like, oh, this could be an opportunity. I don't know what made me do it. First of all, before I even started to talk to him that day, it was a hard day. I wasn't in the best space. But when he came to my door, started talking, and then I was like, who does how do you talk to your customers? How do you communicate what's your system? Knowing that you now have a business, because I have my own business. I told you about my IT business, and
Mhm.
so I'm like, how can I help you? Because you're starting your business is new. And as I like in the past, as I've been meditating, taking my time, I'm like, okay, I know I want to help small businesses, and I don't want to be greedy. I want to be able to have a partnership where I'm able to help them without like sucking them dry. Like I'm
Mhm.
pushing them off and being honest and trusted and affordable.
Mhm.
So like I asked him like, how do you when you he's like, I need a website, and I'm like, that's what I can do that. Da, 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 da. And he's like, well, yeah. We were talking, and then fast forward like 2 weeks later, which was like yesterday. I it was on my heart. I was like, I gotta show him this demo. I gotta show him his website, just regardless how it goes. And so I showed him it. He's like, this is perfect. I love it. And then we're talking, and I'm like,
Keep talking. I need to get a water. I can hear you.
yeah. And
Okay.
then we just started talking about his experience. Like he's like, I always when I help people, I always try to like help them. Like I'm not trying to take your money. I mean, he's Hispanic, and English is his second language, so that's already a I don't want to say insecurity, but something he's mindful about as far as like communicating. He's like, it's not my strong point. Um, So and he tells me that, and but anyways, he's like, people think that. Okay, no, hold on, let's start over. I told him my mission is to help you, not suck your meat. Like to work with you, what you can give me in exchange for what you need.
Mm-hmm.
And help you. And he's like, I'm glad, because when I help people, like, I think people think I'm, trying to, and I helped them, like, trying to take advantage. I think you're greedy. Like, yeah, and they don't understand, like, my heart. I like helping people. And like this old lady, like she was telling me she's a senior and she's losing something she was going through, and I'm thinking to myself, how can I give her a discount? So I took $500 off and da 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 da.
Mm-hmm.
And she still like she was like wanted me to write down every little thing that she's paying for. Like literally, if I move a nail here, how much is that? And he was like,
Even though he gave him even though he gave her a discount.
right.
Okay.
Or for him, this is what he's gonna do. And he was like, I just had to just be like, if she can't see my, well, he didn't say if she can't see my heart, but that's what he meant. Like she can't understand. Like I'm trying to help you. Like I'm not. He's like, I'm always this type of person. I just want to help. And I'm like, oh my gosh. I'm like, this is the type of people I want to work with. Like these are the type of people I want to help.
Yeah.
And anyways, it was just kind of like a ha moment. And so like I'm like, and he was saying too, he was like, the Mexicans, our community needs that because we don't have the resources. I'm like, oh, I can help the Hispanics because they're so good, handy, and
Mm-hmm.
it was beautiful. You don't meet a lot of people that's just
Genuinely want to help.
yes and
Mm-mm.
vulnerable.
Mm-hmm. A lot of people are guarded.
Yeah, and that touches me every time. Sounds like a breath of fresh air, honestly. Like talking to people like that. It's been hard. Like I don't even know you, but I can tell like you're not a what do you call it? A person that like you're trying to manipulate me to feel sorry.
Swindler. Oh. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Oh. Mm-hmm.
And so it's like, ugh, it touches me. It touches my soul.
Yeah. Yeah. There's so many people that's just out for themselves right now, and something I've been hearing a lot is survival mode. Like
Mm.
just it's about me and mine, and what kind of world does that actually create? It seems good for the moment, but earlier this year, um, God was just. I mean, and it doesn't stop or start only in this year, but it's been emphasized. Like God was just like, guard your heart because there's going to be a temptation for your heart to be cold. And you just see that all around. Like people are very cold hearted. Maybe they've gone through so many things. Maybe they've seen so many things. But like, I don't know. I just feel like social media is a whole different beast right now. And I just feel like people are I'm not everybody, of course. But I tiptoed over there on the Instagrams. It's it's it seems like a different world.
What do you mean?
I mean, I know it already was becoming a different world, but
Yeah.
I guess since I haven't really been on it in a while, and when I was on it, it was just people that I wanted. I wanted to be
Okay.
people I talked to anyway. It's just um performance.
Like
And
these
I'm
are
like,
people that you know. Like these are people that you know that.
um, just the culture of it. I'm just gonna say the culture of it
Yeah.
is it feels like performance, and I'm sure that you know I don't know. I don't know how that sounds, but I feel like once you come out of a spot or a place and you go back in, you don't look at things the same. And so when you're in it, it just is the norm. When I used to live in Atlanta, um, there's a this is not everybody. There's some really authentic people. But there's a culture of when you live in a big city, um, what's the right word? Like you're networking based off of opportunity. And so you're kind of whoever can give me the next opportunity is who I connect with. Not off authenticity, not off of getting to know people, not off of character, but how can I get up? Oh, I'm gonna use you. I see you. I see this is what you're doing. I want to do it too. This is and then people think you think like that because they do.
That's what I call networking. Oh, that's what it is, balloons. When you say that, because that in the IT field, when I was working and got my bachelor's in IT, like it was all about, like you said, like how can I get in here? Oh, I know this person, and so then you're reaching out to them. Or sometimes, like you unconsciously don't even realize you're just talking to someone, and because where they're at, company. But then when you get where you want, you realize. Well, you don't even realize, but you don't talk as much to them. And
A part of that is business, I guess. That could be.
well, I'll say this: if you're straightforward, if you're like, "Hey, I see you're here. How can I get in?" But if it's, "Hey, how are you?" and you're slowly working towards your way to, how did you get there? Then it's different to me. Like bribing, where you're like, "Let's meet. Let's go out to
Mhm.
and then maybe a week, 2 or 3. But if,
I think it's a. Oh, go ahead. I'm sorry.
yeah, but to me, if you're like straightforward,
Yeah, don't have an ulterior motive, kind of. Okay. Because I feel like there's a difference between an opportunist, which lies along the same lines of a user, and then there's another group that is like you're building relationship, you're building connection, you're actually building network. You're not, you have a grander uh, goal in mind that you feel like they can be a part of, or you can grow from, versus like, okay, I got what I want next. Like it's just
yeah. So, okay, this kind of, like back in the day, I hated myself for this because I was around all the people in my field. We had class with them, but once class was over or once we graduated, I I wasn't close to y'all anyway, and so I'm not going to keep in contact. Like it's not in my heart to keep in contact. However, I knew people that they were really good at keeping in contact,
Mhm.
and I never like. It's like I should be doing that, you know.
Well, I think though that if you've created a culture of that, like that's what you're supposed to do, then of course you're not going to be authentically um in relationship with everybody, that you are just, this is just about the business. But then that becomes, I guess what I'm saying and what I was saying earlier is, oh, that's business. Is difference between, oh, that's business, and oh, this is your character. Do you get what I'm saying? Like your character is to be an opportunist versus, okay, I am a part of this field, and I'm using the opportunity, but I'm not a user.
Right. So I guess I get what you're saying. Opportunist versus this is my field. This is business. Opportunist versus this is business.
Yes.
The thing is, they blur lines.
They do.
They blur. And so now I'm understanding. I am understanding now that there's no separation.
You having a party over there, okay?
There is no separation. Like, what you are is going to show in your business. Like, there's, like, or at least it's what I'm living by now. My business is who I am. Versus how I was taught. Like, this is just business. This is how I am when it's business time. But I'm not like this. No. No more of that. Like, everything I want to do should reflect, my value.
And I think, and we may have to like save some of this for another video, but I think being a counselor allows you to be a little bit more authentic than other fields. And that's what I love about it.
You're right. Even the supervisors are like, if you don't feel like you're in the space, take leave.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're right, it does.
It's the one place it's like people care. I care about you for real. I actually enter this field because I care about you.
Yeah, it is. It really is. Wow. Okay. I had something else to say, but I totally forgot, but it was good.
Okay, I gotta show you this while you're thinking though. Okay. So if it comes to you.
Are these your notes?
Where? Oh no. I'm about to show you an image. And maybe we'll get more into it another time.
Fast tracking.
There's so much. Like, and we just gotta follow what feels natural. But
you feel like your life? You feel like something's happening fast?
Oh, in this season
for you?
I don't yet see it, but I feel it.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
Yeah, I feel it. Yeah, they're like, and I was looking at my journal because sometimes I'll hear something and forget I heard it. But God was like, He told me you're in a different season. You've crossed over, and that's not the first time I've heard that, but it just sounds different. Like He said that in like January or February, and it feels like it.
That's crazy.
I'm mad though, because I feel like my little blur background, it stopped blurring. But that's okay.
It did.
Like, how are you just not gonna blur no more? Because, but anyway.
Is it turned on?
Yeah, it was when I first started.
What is that? Is that a cat?
No.
If it has sound, I can't hear it.
It doesn't. Well, let me see. Maybe it does.
Okay. Well, that's fine.
I just want you to see it. I don't
know what that is.
So at first I thought it's much smaller than it looks. I thought it was a tarantula. You want to know what that is?
What is it?
It's a bat crawling down my street.
It's a bat crawls? Are you sure? How you know it's a bat?
It has wings. Let me see if I can I make this? It has whole wings. Dang, did the video stop? So
What does a bat mean?
so listen, there are several things that I've seen. What? Oh, that was my mic.
Okay.
Okay.
I was like, is that a bat too?
So there are several things, and I guess my phone being at 18% gonna let us know how far that we gonna go left. Or not my phone, but my iPad. But there are several things that I've been seeing. Okay. So that was a bat crawling down the street. And like a few weeks ago, I sent you that thing about Satanism. And I don't know, my account is open now and I don't have a lot of responses to it or anything. But I know that the spiritual world is aware of me based on the dreams that I've had. And so I was just like, okay, that's weird. That's weird. And the bat was about this big. It wasn't even, let me see. How can I? It was about this big. It was so much smaller than it looked. Okay. And then we were at my nephew's game. I'm gonna try to talk quick because we don't have a lot of time. We were at my nephew's game and it was a lady sitting in front of our car. Me and my mom. We went to Walgreens after the game. And she looked just very well put together. She looked like we know somebody from Ukraine. She looked like she had those features, like a similar features to her. But she was like very put together, but it was like 100 degrees and she was sitting in front of the car. And she was sitting on her bag. I could see like there was bananas in it. And so she was sitting on the bag. And I was like, "Hey, are you okay?" And she said, It was hot. I'm like, "Okay, we got something to drink. Like, do you need something to drink?" And she raised her drink. She said, she smiles. I said, "Okay." And so I was like, "Man, let's pray for her." Like, but in the car. So we're praying. My mom prays, like, God, like, I don't exactly know what the prayer was. And she starts talking to herself. Okay. So maybe, but to me, she did not look homeless, which she didn't look like she didn't have anywhere to go. She looked like she was, like she had somewhere to go. Like she had been somewhere. And I know that you can't tell a homeless all the time, but she just seemed like did she wander off from where she lived? Maybe did she have dementia? So she was talking to herself while my mom's praying. And she starts smiling. And she does it and snatches her hair out of her head, throws it. I said, "What was that? What was that?" What was that? Okay. And she's smiling. She's drinking her drink. Okay. We're going to pray, but we gonna pray. And then it's car, maybe I lock the door. I don't know. Okay. So we're praying. At first, my mom was like, "We take authority over this area." And it was like, no, no, no. This is not like we were over in Missouri. This is not our territory. We just pray over her specifically. Like, God, that you free her, whatever is going on. And I think she does that twice. Okay. She gets up and she throws her drink in the trash. And she starts to walk militantly to the end of the building. I'm like, okay. But this is what got me. Oh, look, I don't know if I have enough room to do it. She walked and she does this like a militant, like, and she goes, so that spirit hears us. That's the spirit is hearing us praying because this thing like pivots like like she's in military. And so the only way we can go is this way, which is the direction she went. So I'm like, maybe we'll see her. We're going to drive, but we're going to go. Okay, because we prayed and we're done here. So we're leaving, and we get to the road, but there's a lot of cars coming, so we can't go out of the parking lot yet. We have to wait. And so we realized that she's gone around the building to sit. She saw that thing saw us. She never looked up. She never looked up to see we were praying. It knew that we were praying. So she moved because the windows were up and she did not look up. And like, when the car is elevated, even though she's looking this way, she's not looking up to see us. My mom was like trying to pray again, like whatever that is, because we know that it didn't want us praying no more. It moved. And she took out a cigarette. I don't even know if she ever lit it. She was just like, now she's performing. Then she takes this wad out of her mouth. My mom was like, what's in her mouth? I said, it's spit. She takes it out though, like it gum. It's so thick.
Spit?
Yes, it looks like gum. She takes it out and she starts to write on the concrete. I said, let's go. We're out. Let's go. It's time. We prayed. We're leaving the prayer with her. It's time to go. Like, she got what she needed. But then I started to wonder, why was she sitting in the front of our car in 100-degree weather? Why did that spirit know we were praying? It reminded me when I went to Vegas. And I told somebody this recently as well. Like, God told me, and I probably told you, like, do not pray here. This ain't your territory. Do not start like praying for the people. And no, you'd be out of your jurisdiction. Do not start taking authority or none of that. And so I was on the strip, and you just can't help but to see people. So I'm just like kind of praying to myself, but I'm not praying over anybody. And I have on this necklace, and I look at this guy, and I'm just like really looking at him because something's going on. And so I'm rubbing my necklace, and the necklace, he starts to say the Lord's Prayer. And as I'm rubbing my necklace, that's exactly what's on my necklace. He cannot see it. So something is seeing what I'm rubbing because you can't. And I'm just like, okay. Okay, I'm just going to mention this thing number 3. I had this dream. Well, one of my dreams, like somebody was in a Suburban shooting at me. Okay, that's an aside. And then I have this dream where it's a little person. And I've already, before this dream, earlier this year, it was a small person in my cereal. And it was like I know, okay, it was a small person in my cereal, and it was like a cat. So I already had that dream months ago. And so I'm like, oh, that look like witchcraft. It shapeshifts. It turned from one thing to another. And so this past week, I dreamed about this little person. And for whatever reason, sometimes in my dreams, I'm not like voluntarily moving. I can watch myself. It's like I'm watching myself do what I'm doing. It's like I'm catching myself in the middle of like a movie, but it's me. Does that ever happen for you? Like you're already in mid motion. So it's a little person and I'm hitting it. And it's the whatever I'm hitting it with is going right through it. Which lets me know it was a spirit, but whatever was on it was falling off. I'm like, what is that?
This was recent.
This was this past week. But the other dream was a few months ago. And it took me a minute to realize, Okay, the little person, it was similar to the one like in Lucky Charm, the leprechaun. And then I start seeing videos of like people having elf sightings. Like people have been seeing little people. Okay. So I'm cramming this in the middle. I mean at the end, but it's just it I've been watching this supernatural channel and I'm just like, am is it that I'm watching this and these things are happening? But this I was seeing this stuff before I start watching it. And so now I'm seeing I've never heard this before. So we know about the Nephilim, right? As I'm looking up this creature, it's called a woodman or a wild man because this creature that I'm seeing in my recent dream, it looks like the leprechaun, but it's not. And so the wild man or the woodman is a mythical creature.
What it look like?
It was small. It wasn't. Oh, what does the wild man look like?
It's small. He said small.
Yeah, he's okay.
I was just checking.
And so I realized okay, so I was fasting last month,
Mhm.
and so I felt like God told me to. And so but before that, I had found like this Spellman PDF of the Spellman family, right? And it's like the crest of it has a little man on it. And so on my phone, I can use my Google image to take a picture of the little man to like have it tell me what is it. And it says it's a mythical creature. It's a wild man. And so on this Spellman crest, they also have a wild man. And then in one of my looking up, it's in the Bible, but it's in the King James version.
What is that? What is?
Okay. Okay.
It's in the King James.
This is Isaiah 13.
Bring it out.
Okay, pull it up.
Well, no, I was pretending like you're editing it.
Okay. Isaiah 13 and 21. Wild beasts of the desert shall lie there, and their houses shall be full of doleful creatures. And owls shall dwell there, and satyrs shall dance there. And if you go into the lexicon, which kind of basically breaks down what these words mean, a satire is um King James.
I mean, what verse?
Oh, Isaiah 13:21. Hold on. I'm gonna have to so I don't lose it. I'm gonna have to pull this up on my phone.
When deity. Is that how that's what the little man looked like? The satire.
Let me look it up. Let me look it up. Okay, okay, let me see. Um Satire.
Have you heard of a Alarian?
Mm-mm. What's that?
They are the result of unions between humans and elves.
Mm.
Anyways, my cousin told me her experiences of being in the woods and how she saw a creature and she was scared to death. They were really swift and fast. And she was like, I saw what I saw. And she was looking, she didn't even know the name of it, but she was just Googling to try to figure out what is this that she saw. And she was like, that's what it looked like. That's what it was. And yeah, just short story. I was curious. And she was like, there's so many, she's like, she don't like talking about this stuff because she, people don't believe her. I think she's crazy. But it was swift, and it was actually, she thought, like, when she moved, then she realized the thing was scared of her, and it was like really swift, and it like went away. And this was like in Maryland, and she was saying Maryland, like parts of Maryland, there's like mystical things, something about that area. Certain areas very, like, I guess mystical, for lack of a better term. And she said she saw Tinkerbell. And she was explaining fairy. She saw a fairy. And she was explaining, she's like, it sounds crazy. And how she experienced the dust and how she knew it was in dust. She said, 'cause it was silver. And she was like, there, it was beautiful. And I was like, and we were talking, and she was like, I think she caught my drift. And she's like, are you saying those things are demonic? And she's like, there's no way that could have been demonic. And I'm like, well, Lucifer is beautiful, so just because it's beautiful, if what God created, and then I'm leading on is demonic. And then I was explaining, the fallen angels and Nephilim, and how like these different breeds, these different creatures got created, I guess.
I did not believe in this stuff until recently. Like this year. Well, no, because we talked about imps before. Remember seeing the imps?
Yes.
But in my dream. And then when I started looking up imps, it led me to the sprite, which lets me know that there was a small image of a sprite on the Sprite drink.
Huh?
Yes.
Sprite.
Okay. Look up Sprite.
On
Let me
every
see.
Sprite?
Sprite. Well, because a Sprite is a spirit.
Like the Sprite. Are you talking about the drink Sprite soda?
Yes.
And you're saying there's a small what on the Sprite drink?
Hold on. Well, let me look it up. Sprite. What do you call it? Is it like it's not a mascot or Sprite commercial. Let me try that. Our
Okay,
original.
so it's not on the bottle itself.
It's somewhere. Um, I've looked this up like a few years ago. The original Sprite though. Is this? You almost gotta word it to even find out what it is. Okay, okay, okay. Here we go. It's on the Coca-Cola bottle. Let me see if I can share my screen. Hold on. Let me make sure. Let me close. Oh, are you still there? Okay. Let me close the rest of this stuff so it's not popping up. Can you see it? I'm about to start. Wait for it to pop up.
I do. I do see it. I see it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So that's what it looked like in your dreams?
No. Okay. So let me. You weren't
What?
echoing before.
Maybe it's on
Okay. No,
my
you're not.
Okay. Right there. Shall I call her? Shall I? Okay. It just cut off. Yeah, like it said my phone went hot. I guess it abruptly is. Okay. Well,